Welcome, everybody, and thank you all for being here. Rob Williams, the originator of PSYCH-K, was 100% dedicated to service. His mission in life was to serve individuals, groups, and society as a whole, as a one. And that's why he never wanted to be a one-man show, and PSYCH-K was never about him, about his person. It is about helping others to truly change their lives and elevate their consciousness to do so. And after spending many years offering private sessions and leading workshops, Rob realized that in order to serve at the scale that he envisioned that was really worldwide, he needed others to help teach and spread PSYCH-K. Thus, the role of PSYCH-K instructors and facilitators, like the beautiful instructors that we have here and beautiful facilitators that we have worldwide, was born. And through his journey with PSYCH-K, Rob was fully committed to preserving its integrity. He turned down numerous opportunities that could have made him famous, but would have compromised the essence of PSYCH-K. And since 1988, PSYCH-K has evolved not by becoming more complex, but by embracing even greater simplicity. And while its essence has remained pure and even more powerful than ever. And we, as PSYCH-K instructors, are part of his legacy, along with the countless PSYCH-K facilitators who have attended, are attending, and will attend PSYCH-K workshops. And this call is a heartfelt one featuring brief testimonies in different languages from PSYCH-K instructors teaching worldwide. And you will hear how their life have transformed thanks to their own journey, their own responsibility, thanks to Rob, and thanks to PSYCH-K. So let's begin our journey all around the world with Deepa from Dubai.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. A big, warm hug from the desert of United Arab Emirates. And I feel very blessed, first of all, that I got the chance to meet Rob in the land of mysticism, Taos. And little did I know that my journey with the land had started much earlier and it unfolded with me. You know, meeting him there, which just seemed so surreal to me. So, all I want to say right now is that when I started my journey, of course, I was in the certification, and I was like a wave in the ocean, which was turbulent and it's like a high tide. There was so much which was going through inside me. And here comes, I think, the fourth or the fifth day, and I see this beautiful human being named Rob Williams. And he was a live example of what we call Isumatek is. And when I met him, it was like the illusion of separation was completely dispelled. The essence was how I felt because I still have the same version and the word. It was like the high tide was taken in by the ocean because his presence and his unsaid communication with me is so surreal to me that I still cannot put it in words. And all I can say is that the tide is calm and the sea is calm since then. And I really understood the meaning of oneness. I really understood that psyche is way bigger than the process, tool, or technique. He was a true gatekeeper of the sacred space, and that's what I imbibed it from him. I feel very blessed that I started this journey with him on that day, and I never looked back. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Deepa. Thank you. Eralp from Turkey and the US.
Hello. I mean, it's pretty difficult to put in words what I'm feeling to say. Yeah, I mean, my journey with Rob and PSYCH-K was, I can say, one of the most profound and most unique journeys I've ever had in my life, which helped me a lot because when I came across with PSYCH-K, I was actually looking for tools to really free myself from my own prisons, which I've created over the time. Then, coincidentally, PSYCH-K found me, like it always does. Then I've seen a lot of stories like that, a lot of journeys in participants of the workshops. When I came across with PSYCH-K, I actually approached it as a method. Then, after meeting Rob Williams, I've understood what actually it was. It was actually a remembering of a very, very ancient philosophy, which was already engraved there. So it meant like a way back to home, back to myself. And rather than trying to create a new version all the time, remembering who I truly was and knowing what my essence made me feel whole. And the way he handled the process, consciously or unconsciously, I have no idea, just by being out there and holding that space, helped me create the guy that I always have been. So, I mean, I might get a bit emotional. It's still so fresh. Thank God I have a better access to him now. He speaks whenever I close my eyes. But I'm truly grateful for everything that he helped us to remember. He helped us to see with this profound philosophy because PSYCH-K is not a method or a technique or anything else for me. It's just like the essence that we have, which we cannot have peace without remembering it and being that. So, Rob, I mean, I have gazillions of stories and I cannot cut it short, but I need to. Rob was a very, very unique character than all of you, my Psyche tribe out there. I'm so grateful walking with you. I'm so grateful and honored knowing him personally by heart. And thank you, Psyche. I mean, I have a lot to say, but right now, words are not enough.
Thank you so much, Harold. Thank you. Paula from the Netherlands.
I was privileged to have Rob as the instructor for my basic certification to become an instructor in 2015. And during these 7 days, he shared the most wonderful insights and stories that he he had gathered along the way. And it was wonderful to hear that immediately from the horse's mouth, to hear these stories. And another thing I loved about Rob was that he was able to talk with his toes. Every single toe could move independently. And I was fascinated by that and mesmerized and looking at that while he was telling his stories. And I have been practicing it myself to be able to move my toes like that, but I never succeeded. So I always felt this was very special for Rob that he was capable of doing that. And PSYCH-K has enriched my life so much. I mean, as I imagine of everybody who has been in touch with PSYCH-K, on the personal level, on the professional level. I think my husband, and he's here in the call as well, truly started to believe in the power of PSYCH-K the moment I started to say, I am sorry. I never said I'm sorry. I mean, everybody could die around me, but I would not say I'm sorry. And the first time I said it, he literally had tears in his eyes that I was capable of saying I'm sorry. And now, of course, I do not understand anymore what the big deal was about saying I'm sorry. Um, and on the professional level, um, I love teaching PSYCH-K. I mean, it is such a wonderful gift for me to be able to give such a wonderful gift to others, these sacred processes that help people to create their own heaven on earth. I mean, truly heaven on earth. They only need to do their balances. So I am immensely grateful for Rob, for his birthing of PSYCH-K, for his nurturing of PSYCH-K. As like Duccio said, the protecting of the integrity of PSYCH-K. And I am very honored to be part of this journey, um, and allowed to be part of this journey. So thank you, Rob. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Paula. Thank you. Martijn from the Netherlands.
Hello, everyone. Indeed, Martijn from the Netherlands. I am actually just back from a basic workshop in Stockholm, Sweden. I have not met Rob myself, unfortunately, but during the workshop, I speak about Rob and I um, tell all the participants how grateful I am that when Rob received PSYCH-K, he was a real genius because he took what he received very seriously. He didn't ignore it. He came to understand the value and its power, and I am grateful that he shared it with the world. My very first experience was when my wife, with PSYCH-K, was when my wife, Paula, also an instructor, had done the basic workshop. She came home and she really wanted to practice with somebody. And I was that somebody. And I was very, very skeptical at first about yet another method that she brought home. But my skepticism disappeared once I started to experience changes in my life and I saw the transformation that Paula was going through herself. I have been using PSYCH-K ever since, and I have transformed my life in so many aspects. At work, I learned to properly delegate, to lead my team in a better way, to speak up more in large meetings with high-profile people attending. And also in my private life, I worked on my fear for anger, my difficult relationships with time and with money. And ultimately, I used it for my transition towards being a full-time PSYCH-K facilitator and instructor myself. As a facilitator and instructor, it's a joy to witness the magic that PSYCH-K brings to the lives of so many people. And I'm actually not sure what my life would look like right now if I had not met PSYCH-K or PSYCH-K had not met me. But I do know today that it has helped me to live my passion and to live a fulfilling life. So thank you, Rob. Thank you for sharing PSYCH-K, and also thank you for protecting it in such a way that it could become a very powerful method that it is today. Thank you.
Thank you, Martijn. Rita from Mexico.
Hola, pues yo solía estar muy enojada con todo y con todos, con muchos miedos, inseguridades, con una autoimagen y autoestima muy pobres. No me sentía merecedora ni suficiente, por lo que mi vida proyectaba todas esas creencias limitantes que tenía y que estaban programadas en mi subconsciente. Mi salud estaba muy deteriorada por una condición crónica desde los 20 años en mis ojos y tenía muchas creencias limitantes sobre la abundancia, sobre mí misma. Cuando Psyche me encontró, empecé el proceso de recordar quién realmente soy. Empecé a reconciliarme conmigo, a conectar con mi alma, a hacer las paces con mi madre, con el mundo. Y poco a poco empecé a limpiar todo eso que me estaba bloqueando. Comencé a facilitar PSYCH-K conmigo, con los demás, y ahora también lo enseño. Me siento profundamente afortunada y agradecida con Rob Williams por su valentía de, de compartir este proceso con tanto amor con el mundo. Gracias también a toda la familia PSYCH-K con quien nos hemos acompañado en este proceso. Y gracias a eso muchas cosas han cambiado en mi vida, muchas han mejorado en mis relaciones, en, en la abundancia, en mí, conmigo. Incluso la condición en mis ojos se pausó, pero lo más importante es la certeza y la paz con la que hoy vivo. Aunque siguen habiendo retos que me sacuden, hoy los puedo mirar desde arriba, con más certeza de que todo es para un mayor propósito y para la evolución de mí misma. Em, Hoy vivo con propósito. Mi nombre es Rita Funes, vivo en México y me siento muy, muy honrada de ser instructora certificada de PSYCH-K.
Thank you, Rita. Irene from Italy.
Hello, I'm Irene. I'm really touched from everything, and I'm so grateful to and honored to be an instructor and to have had the opportunity to meet Rob in person when I took my basic workshop. It was 2008, and I really had a life that I can't imagine now. I was having a job in space exploration as a scientist. I had a horrible relationship with my parents. I had just had a miscarriage. I was not really excited about life. Let's put it like this. And but there was a little sparkle within me that allowed me to resonate with PSYCH-K. And as soon as I heard his name, I really felt a call within me, and I learned it, and little by little, I transformed so many things in my life to the point that I quit my job, and I love being a PSYCH-K instructor because it's so life became so joyful and so simple after having met PSYCH-K. It's not a fight, it's not a struggle, it's not about being right or being good or being enough. It's just about being who I am. And I'm quite a nice people. I haven't thought about it before. But now, life is just a joy. Everything that comes to me is just, the best way of my spirit, of my wisdom to give me the best lesson in the most gracious way for me to expand and explore my divinity. And this is really a joy. And I'm so grateful to Rob to allow me to be here, to be an instructor, and to share this with others. I mean, it's such a privilege to allow people to get in touch with PSYCH-K and to have this power to live their divinity in such a simple and natural and joyful way. And I wouldn't go back to space exploration by no means. It's so life is pure joy. So Rob, thank you for allowing us to receive this information that you got, and you kept so clean and coherent for all of us and for us to convey to the world, because the world needs PSYCH-K, and we are here to continue what Rob began. So thank you for all of us to hold in the space and for Rob to initiate of this beautiful gift for the world.
Thank you, Irene. Sharon from the United Kingdom.
Hi. There are so many words that I could speak when I think about Rob. But let me go back a little bit to the beginning. I first encountered PSYCH-K in 2008, so such a long time ago. And as many of you have described, PSYCH-K found me. I never had any plans whatsoever to become an instructor. And I gently walked the path, as many facilitators do when they learn PSYCH-K, of peeling away the layers of conditioning, because we come in as divine beings and along our journey in life, attract, download these layers of conditioning that really aren't who we are. So, in supporting others at the same time, I was walking my path of removing those layers of conditioning. It's 9 years down the line, supporting clients in many different capacities, from individuals to whole families in corporate businesses. I felt incredibly blessed to be able to share this and to watch transformation in front of my eyes, and people recognizing who they truly are on that journey. The reason I encountered PSYCH-K, or PSYCH-K came into my life, really, for many people, it's Bruce Lipton introduces them to PSYCH-K. For me, that wasn't the case at all. For me, it was Rob himself. I encountered a video with Rob talking about PSYCH-K, and immediately it was a remembering, but from a conscious mind perspective, I couldn't make sense of it. I just knew that I needed to explore what Rob had to share. And that's how I ended up at a PSYCH-K basic workshop. And my life has transformed in so many ways. There's too many examples to share. There is no comparison between what my life was before and after PSYCH-K. It's almost in two parts. I first met Rob on my journey to become an instructor. And as I say, I never had planned to become an instructor. But as I peeled those layers of conditioning away, my superconscious, my higher self knew we had other plans. So I embarked on the journey of certification, becoming an instructor. I was able to attend Rob's final basic certification as he was passing on that gift to Duccio, divine Duccio. And so it was a really special encounter in Taos in New Mexico. And what struck me most, more than anything, about Rob was his humility. And he shared with us, the instructor community, that the path in sharing PSYCH-K and being almost the guardian of PSYCH-K, I would say, shepherding this thought form into the world, was not always an easy path. So his commitment in service to us, to humanity, and to PSYCH-K and the PSYCH-K, the essence of PSYCH-K, has profoundly touched my life and many lives, and it will continue to do so. And I feel greatly honored to be a part of that legacy, to be able to share with others this amazing gift that we have to offer for the world, and ultimately to raise consciousness so that we can create a new golden age as we move forward, addressing all the chaos that we see that appears to be chaos, but actually it's transformation. So I'm profoundly grateful to Rob and to all of you, my PSYCH-K family. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Andrea from Switzerland.
Thank you very much, Duccio. I just want to add just to what Sharon said. I'm also truly thankful, and I feel absolutely honored to be part of this wonderful, loving teal family that we are all over the world. And to truly share from my heart, I will now change to German to share my story. Ich habe PSYCH-K 2014 kennengelernt, als ich bei Brunhild Hoffmann den Workshop besuchen durfte. In dieser Zeit war es ziemlich schwierig mit meinem Freund dazumals. Wir hatten einen kleinen Krieg, weil wir beide einander nicht verstanden hatten und ständig einfach nur auf Kriegsfuß und Zankereien aus waren. Und das war die erste große Veränderung in meinem Leben, dass ich tatsächlich erleben durfte, wie schnell und einfach Frieden einkehrt in meinem Leben. Frieden zwischen mir und Sandro, übrigens mein Mann heute. Und nicht nur in der Partnerschaft, sondern auch in ganz vielen Aspekten in mir selber durfte ich Frieden finden. Und dieses Buch von Rob, The Missing Piece in Your Life, beschreibt in einem Satz, was PSYCH-K für mich bedeutet in meinem Leben. Und so eine kraftvolle, unglaubliche Veränderung in so kurzer und einfacher Zeit zu erreichen, ich kann es bis heute nicht glauben, dass es tatsächlich funktioniert, auch wenn ich es immer wieder erleben darf. Und ich kann nicht in Worte fassen, wie dankbar ich bin, dass ich dieses wunderbare Geschenk auch in die Welt hinaustragen darf, dass ich das weitergeben darf und auch so ein Teil von mehr Frieden auf dieser Welt sein darf. Von Herzen ein großes Dankeschön.
Thank you, Andrea. Mariana from Canada. Okay, Mariana. Are you on? Mariana, I can see you.
Sorry. I met Rob in 2008 during my certification, and that was a time that I was going through a very dark time. And Rob, at the certification, told me, he said, doesn't matter what happens to you, it's just how you deal with it. And very, very big words of wisdom. And I only had a very short interaction with him, but it made a big impact on my life looking at it. And, before this calamity happened, my life was very empty. And when I met PSYCH-K, the calamity became a non-issue and it became very fulfilling. And I just love being an instructor and seeing all the miracles. And, it's so nice that I still can be excited about the miracles and surprised about the miracles. So I had many occasions to meet Rob because I went to all the instructors meetings in Crestone first and in Taos and was at his home and walked with him to his greenhouse and we listened to the plants, the music and the talking plants. It was just absolutely wonderful. And our next instructors meeting in August, it will be the first time that he's not there, not by Zoom or in person, but I know his presence will be felt there, and I truly miss him. But I know he is with us, and I'm just so thankful that I had the opportunity to meet with him in person. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariana. Catherine from the US.
Dallas, Texas, to be specific.
Dallas, Texas.
Hey, y'all. Like everybody else, my life has been touched in ways that can't even really be expressed by Rob. It was Bruce that led me to Rob back in 2002. Rob led me to PSYCH-K, and the moment I heard Rob talking about PSYCH-K, I couldn't get to a class fast enough to learn it well, actually, I had to study with Rob. I was in the last advanced workshop he ever, or almost the last, the second to last that he ever taught. But I took a week off and I went and did the basic and advanced workshops. And after that week, the path that my life was on changed completely. And within a few months, it was as if the universe handed me one of those Mission Impossible notes that said, your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to truly discover who you really are, not just in your human experiences, Catherine, but in your true immortal self. And I have so much gratitude for the way that Rob whispered into my heart and encouraged me to begin this journey. So I am forever grateful for him, and I'm going to miss him tremendously. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Simona from Czech Republic. Okay, Simona, perfect. Okay.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for this wonderful opportunity to meet my dear colleagues, because the journey of PSYCH-K for me did not begin with Rob, but it really began with finding a methods that I needed to solve some of my issues. but I found so much more. And I never planned to become an instructor, but it really happens through the Kezi and through the Brunhild and through the other instructors and through the Duccio that I really found the essence and the great energy of Psyche. And I'm really grateful to Rob that this essence and this energy came here to Earth because this is the biggest service for me that I can really do with my life. So thank you everybody and be in touch. I'm from Czech Republic, so happy to anyone to see in basic in Czech Republic.
Thank you so much, Simona. Thank you. Casey from United Kingdom.
Hello from Wales. I just want to share my just beyond absolute gratitude for this family that I'm sitting here in front of. It doesn't matter where we are in the world, what we're doing, we are connected as a family. And going back to childhood, as a very, very young child, I was a searcher. I was searching for something. So I'm an only child and I was searching for something. It didn't make sense to me that I was an only child. I felt that I should be part of a bigger family, part of something so much bigger. And I spent my life searching, searching. I did so many workshops, learned this, learned that. And I was like, nah, that's not quite it, not what I'm looking for. And again, I kept looking, and it was April 2005. So 20 years ago this April that Psyche found me in Santa Fe. Santa Fe it was in New Mexico, where Rob gave a talk. And I didn't make this decision consciously. I just had this biggest sense of knowing that this is what I'd been looking for. It wasn't what Rob was talking about. That made sense. It made sense logically. It made sense from things I'd learned. But it was about Rob and who he was, this soul standing on the stage. And it was his humility and his energy that really touched my heart. And I spoke to Rob and Bruce after their talk, and it was November 2005 that I took my very first basic workshop. So it'll be 20 years ago this November. And funnily enough, on my daughter's birthday was when I did the last day. And I haven't looked back since. When I say 20 years, the fact that I've been doing this for 20 years, using it and teaching for 18 years next month, just incredible. And I remember at my certification, my basic certification in March 2007, at the end, we all came together and I was so emotional. And all I could say was, I feel like I've come home. And my beautiful sister, Robin, who's here, Robin Graham, she just said, welcome home. She got it. Everybody got it. That searching that I'd had for the whole of my life, it wasn't there anymore. I'd found what I was looking for. It was my family who are all here today, and everyone who's been involved in Psyche, past, present, and who will be in the future. My heart is so open because of you and because of Rob. Sorry. And because of what Rob brought onto this planet, who he came here to be. He has helped me remember who I am. Just to echo what Erop said, I now know who I am. I remember who I came here to be, not who everybody else wanted me to be. Like Sharon said, the conditioning. He has helped me through this remember who I am. And this is what I love to teach at the workshops. It's about remembering who you are, who you came to this planet to be, not who everybody else wants you to be, but your mission, your purpose as well. And one lovely memory I have of 2008 at an instructors conference is where all of the instructors, we went around and we were connecting by looking really deeply into each other's eyes. And Rob was the last person I did this with. We stared so deeply into each other's eyes and we started laughing so much. And Rob said, we've played before. And I was like, we absolutely have. And that is what PSYCH-K is for me. It's a remembering, it's a meeting my tribe, meeting my family again. And yes, on a practical level, my life has completely changed, but it's been so, so much more than that for me with the remembering and the co-creating of it. So I will forever be grateful to Rob and to my PSYCH-K family as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Casey. Mercedes from Argentina.
Bueno, es una paradoja para mí tener que usar palabras para expresar lo que Rob y PSYCH-K representan en mi vida cuando lo primero que siento, lo más verdadero sería hacer silencio. Así que bueno, teniendo en cuenta esto, eh, conocí a Rob en mi certificación en el año 2015 y después en la certificación del taller avanzado. Y la conversación más profunda que compartí con Rob en todo este tiempo es eh, una conversación sobre el punto de maduración de una palta. Cosa interesante porque Rob no es que no hablase, no paraba de hablar. En realidad hablaba algo a través de él. Pero había tanta sabiduría e inocencia y humildad y autoridad en su corazón y en su palabra, que daba igual si era sobre un agujero de gusano o sobre el punto de maduración de una palta. Siempre había sabiduría y entonces podía comprender que la espiritualidad no es un lugar, una pose, una postura, sino permitirse ser quien uno va siendo y quien se va descubriendo a cada momento. Y eso fue muy sanador para mí porque había una idea de la espiritualidad muy alejada de mí misma. De hecho, PSYCH-K me encontró en ese momento de rendición, de saturar, un intentar conectar desde el mundo de lo personal, donde ya había un buen trabajo, una pareja, dinero, autos, amigos, fiestas, viajes. Venía del mundo de la empresa, de la publicidad, de la comunicación y cuando no quedó nada más por hacer, ni ningún lugar más donde investigar, no quedó otra que, bueno, entrar en esa caja negra desconocida y todo se colapsó y se agolpó muy, muy rápido. Básicamente encontrarme con que no tenía ni idea qué era la espiritualidad y por lo tanto quién era yo, e ir descubriendo que la espiritualidad no era más que ponerme en contacto conmigo misma. Pasaron un montón de cosas y lo más hermoso que quedó es haberle perdido el miedo al miedo y saber, porque empezó a estar el registro en mis emociones y en mi cuerpo, que detrás de cada experiencia, detrás de cada límite, había una oportunidad de expandirme, con lo cual empezar a percibir esos miedos y ese límite como una invitación a esa expansión. Enseñar Psyche es de las cosas que más me apasiona y me divierte hacer. Y a lo largo de mi camino como instructora, me he permitido dudar varias veces si Psyche, si enseñar Psyche seguía siendo un cuenco resonante para quien yo estaba haciendo. Y siempre apareció esta transformación de Psyche, ¿no? De lo que yo pensaba que era Psyche. Y también me ayudó a observar que, como decían varios compañeros, no solamente no es una técnica ni un método, sino que es como una especie de segunda piel muy simple y muy humilde, nada separada de vos, que te permite acompañarte en ese silencio, en esa expansión, en esa flexibilidad mientras te vas descubriendo. Y eso hace que tenga un vínculo muy íntimo y muy amable con PSYCH-K y también con Rob Williams. Así que muchas, muchas gracias.
Thank you, Mercedes. Marta from Colombia.
Bueno, hola desde Colombia. Eh, my story with Rob didn't started when I started to do Psych-A because I started in 2009 and then I met Rob in 2011 in an instructors conference. And the first thing that deeply moved me is that we had an experience there where he invited us to do some balances, but he was the first one standing up to do his own. And that to me was so surprising because that's when I realized this guy, he's not a rock star. He's walking his talk. And that was a huge lesson for me in humility. Um, there are some conversations that Rob and I had that those simple questions or those simple statements were always the path to change the focus from outside to within and from my um, selfish focus to make it larger. So that simple question that we all learned at the basic, what do you want instead, became so big because behind that, what do you want instead was I finally understood, and I actually understood this, like really integrated this recently. That's free will. How do you choose to experience life? And I think that's the greatest gift I have received is really choose this life. How is this going to be? And the possibility of not having to do something, but choosing and understanding what that means and that it's not outside. So it's that remembering that all the answers are already within me. So that's the geniality of Rob of putting in such a simple question, such a huge concept, because we've seen it everywhere. But it took me that one simple question to understand that. And then we got in some interesting discussions throughout the years that we were together because I wanted things in a certain way. And he asked me once this question. He said, if I say yes to you, to this that you want, what is the effect in the whole community? Let's widen that the consequences of saying yes to you. It means I would have to say yes to everybody else. How does that look? And it just froze me because I had no answer to that, but he did. And that was another invitation of stop, reflect a little bit. It's not about what you want, it's what you need and what the whole world needs. How does that fit into that? So that was another huge realization. And in Taos, once we were talking about something, and he said, I know that you are going to make the right choice because I trust you implicitly. And I was also without air when he said that because, wow, this man trusts me implicitly. I don't know that I trust myself implicitly. That was so big. And that started a huge path of integrity, of what all the aspects of integrity in my life, just by one single phrase that Rob said. And I could keep going with all the interactions that I had the blessing to have with this human being that was through him. Spirit was talking with us. And maybe we didn't realize it all the time. And now that he's not here, I feel in every interaction we have in every workshop and in every encounter with facilitators and with people that it has become even more tangible to really be able to touch what it was that he was trying so earnestly to communicate, and we didn't always get it. So that's my gratitude with that amazing, amazing human being that I have been blessed to cross paths with in so many years.
Thank you, Marta. Mary from the US.
All right. Hello. Yes, and I would love to be called Mahana. So if you guys would love to call me Mahana, Psyche. I magnetized Psyche to me, but I would also say it found me, and I did. I came in the back way than what most people did because I was so conditioned by my mom to act like everything's good even when it's not, and to be really, really great about denial and thinking I'm all good and I'm all fine and I need to go help other people. So. What I'm so grateful for with Psyche and with Rob being the amazing conduit to bring it here is at the time I was married, my husband got sick with leukemia. And that's what led me to PSYCH-K. Within that year, Bruce Lipton's book showed up at my workplace, right there, Biology of Belief. And he told me to get my butt to the workshop. I said, all right, Bruce, I will. And guess what? Within 3 months, Beth showed up a half hour from my house. Thank you, Beth. So, and the amazing part about life is really funny, right? Because I literally thought I was fine. I honest to God, like, yeah, oh yeah, I'm fine. But my husband, oh yeah, he needs this. That's the joke was on me. And the gift with life is that he went through such a deep depression and with his illness that I, had all this beautiful tool in front of me. And what a gift. Within a month of using PSYCH-K with myself, I started bawling my eyes out. And I would say that I probably cried 5 times in my life because I was taught, you cry, I'll give you something to cry about, kid. I was taught to shut off my emotions. I was taught to be tough. I put an armor against my heart and my wall. I was taught to be masculine. And I was taught to survive and fight. And what the gift of PSYCH-K brought me is I was able to dissolve all of that. And yay. So it has activated my divine feminine within me. It has activated my remembrance, like what Arup talks about is, yeah, absolutely. And when I learned this, when I actually was told, my spirit actually told me, all right, it's time for you to go become an instructor at a health and well-being workshop when Ducho was teaching that. And I said, what? I was helping moms have babies. I loved being a birth nurse. I loved helping moms have babies. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean you want me to go be a PSYCH-K instructor? And the funny, because now I get to help people birth their true selves. Woohoo! So it's still birthing, and I'm thrilled. Yes, 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 yes. And I have had the mentors in my life. I'm forever grateful for Robin Graham. Thank you. You have been an absolutely tremendous mentor to me in every possible way. Yes, thank you. And Ducho, because woo, I am forever grateful. And like I say, you know what? This is here. This is here for everybody who's ready to make the changes. And I'm so grateful I said yes. I'm grateful that I wanted to go help someone that I loved very deeply. So, however you're called to do this, just say yes. Just say, why not? Because I'm forever grateful I did. I'm forever grateful because I am living my true essence and life is fun and playful. And that's what I love about Rob the most. Because when I met him to become an instructor, is I loved his playfulness. I saw it in him. He has a serious side because he was very serious about making sure PSYCH-K is reaching the masses and really being the catalyst for the transformation for the ascension here. And the gift is he actually found his innocence and his playfulness. And that's what I'm forever grateful because now I have my playfulness back too. So I'm forever grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Robin from the US.
Oh, how beautiful. I love hearing all of this. Thank you so much. So, as everybody has shared, I think the three words for me are gratitude, appreciation, and love. And there's so much that I could express. In the short time, I will just say I didn't find PSYCH-K. PSYCH-K introduced itself to me in 1994. So I am now 31 years into working with PSYCH-K, but it's not work. I want to change that word in loving PSYCH-K. And when in 97, Rob decided he didn't want to be the only instructor in the world because he really wanted this to come out. He called me and asked me to be one of the first instructors and my low self-esteem and doubt. And I was like, wait, what, me? How? No, you've got the wrong phone number. But I had the tool of PSYCH-K. I decided to do my own balancing and do my own work around it. And one of the statements that came up for me to balance, which is in our material in both basic and level one, is I have magical work in a magical way. I give magical service for magical pay. That is what I've been able to do for 31 years and ongoing. There will be many more years from this. That I had no idea that I was a professional working in corporate. I was like, wait, you can have magic and make money at the same time? We do that all the time. Our instructors, myself and all of our instructors, were so blessed in that Rob gifted us with this beautiful, elegant methodology called PSYCH-K that, as many have mentioned, is beyond the process. It is a philosophy. It is an embracement. For me, it's part of my DNA. Several have mentioned that they, recognized or remembered they were coming home. That's what happened with me in 94, is I was seeking but had no clue what I was seeking. And Rob, in a presentation, said some words, and I was like, that is where I'm going. That's what I want to do. It was like every cell in my body resonated, and it has stayed that way. So I could go on and on and on. I, somebody mentioned choice. I really think that's what Psych-K brings to everybody is the ability to choose. Do you want to have your life go the way it's been going, or do you want to choose to shift to something else? The gift that Rob brought us, in addition to just receiving these beautiful processes, is he was such an honorable caretaker, a steward for Psych-K. Somebody else mentioned the integrity. He was committed to staying aligned with the integrity of Psych-K. We didn't always understand. We wanted things different, but he always was able to bring us back to why. And Marta implied, it's this sacred reciprocity of what is best for everyone. He lived the oneness concept. He wanted us to understand, and everyone that gets touched by Psych-K to understand what your impact is on the collective and vice versa. He saw in me, his gift to me was that he saw in me what I did not see in myself and supported me in massive ways over the years. That's too long for this conversation. He was a listener. He was absolutely a listener, and he would listen, and then he would ask this question that made you open up to a new perspective about something. So, what I would say, his legacy, he was shocked when Psych-K started being taught all over the world because he didn't want to travel the world. And he was so amazed when he would see the listing on the website of all these countries and these languages. He's like, wait, what? How many languages? So we are blessed as the instructors to carry on his purpose of teaching Psych-K and supporting those that want to learn Psych-K. We have amazing facilitators around the world that represent Psych-K in their service offerings. And I'll say that anybody who attends a workshop is touched in some way about the peace and the hope of possibility. Whatever they do with Psych-K after that is their choice, but they get touched by the beauty of Psych-K. I will share that one of the things that my passion has always been is travel. And years ago, I did a balance around blending travel with my passion, which was teaching Psych-K. And as a result of that, I've traveled and taught around the world, 23 countries. And I've actually now done Psych-K on 7 continents because I just got back from Antarctica and did Psych-K on the land of Antarctica. So Psych-K is now on 7 continents. When I was in Egypt recently, I was drawn to buy a falcon. And if you look at the Psych-K website, there's a falcon logo. And what the falcon of Psych-K represents is the ability to see the great vision of our life, yet to transform those small details in our life so that we can live our potential. So I knew Rob didn't like little trinkets, but I got drawn to buy this falcon statue. What I didn't know is at the time it was within the time frame of his death. And so he's now flying as the falcon, experiencing this amazing spiritual realm that he absolutely loved as a human. So, last I'll share is just Rob ensured that all of us are free to experience peace and love within our lives by embracing the gift of Psych-K. We use it every day as instructors. We invite everyone to learn it and to use it in your life to create and live that greatness, that potential that you have within you. So, thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Rosie from Australia.
I think I'm going to echo what many have said, and that is this absolute gratitude for Psych-K, for Rob. Like Paula, I was had my certification with Rob. So got to meet him on the physical plane in person, and that was such a gift. And as I've heard from many here, it was a coming home. It really felt quite profound in the moment. And I think, as Robin said, Rob saw in me what I hadn't yet saw in myself. And he for me was a key that PSYCH-K is for so many people. So for me, he was a key for myself to unlock my potential. As I share in my workshops that if I could only have a recorder when I spoke with Rob and replay what he says, because he had this magical ability to boil down so much wisdom in such a short period of time. But when you went back and replayed it, there was so much content in what he had said. And I invite people to look at the interview series with Rob, because they get to know him a little bit through those videos as well. So much wisdom, and I am eternally grateful for that. Rob had the ability to bring modern day magic into this world with PSYCH-K. And I would like to share too that since his physical moving on, I've had so many sharings from facilitators around the world of magic, where they're thinking about him and something comes into their life serendipitously or coincidentally, not that brings Rob into their life in a more poignant way as well. So I think we are still very blessed with Rob, that's not changed. He's still very much a part of this community. And yeah, I think also so grateful that we all have the potential and ability to share PSYCH-K with everybody that wants to step into that space to create the change that they're wanting to create in their lives, so simply and so elegantly, with this amazing integrous methodology of PSYCH-K. So yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you. Thank you. Peter from the US.
Here in the US, we say Peter from Texas.
Like Catherine, Peter from Texas.
There's a reason for that. I met Rob through the energy of Bruce. I met Bruce in 2007, in which I had the opportunity to photograph Bruce, and he was so in love with PSYCH-K that I don't know if it was that when a former instructor was doing a demonstration, a part of me watching said, "That's for me, and I'm going to take it to Spain." I didn't know PSYCH-K. Bruce hadn't mentioned PSYCH-K. It was just a connection. I became an instructor in 2008, and what Rob taught me in the years from that time is his tremendous capacity to hold space. And it was such a way of holding space that there was humor, there was attention, there was love, there was presence. And I remember, as many of you know, that there were many times, and I think Marta mentioned this, of when there was this desire to have things be a certain way. And I learned through him honoring divine timing. He held a space with such integrity that I feel I got to know PSYCH-K through his love, and I got to know Rob through doing PSYCH-K. So many times holding the space, which I think was the greatest gift he gave me, was showing how to do that. I sometimes wonder, at times when I'm in a challenging situation, what would Rob do? And he's a man that was the example of holding the space for love. For myself, in my process of growing through PSYCH-K, could come to be who I am today and the rest of the journey I have to make. So thank you, Rob, Thank you for your love, and thank you for everything you do and did.
Thank you, Peter. Ayça from Turkey.
Hello, everybody. I am so honored and happy to be a part of this beautiful Teal family. And with your permission, I would like to continue in Turkish. PSYCH-K'den önce ve PSYCH-K'den sonra diye benim için iki tane hayat var açıkçası. Çok kıymetli çünkü daha önce çok e, kurban psikolojisinde olan bir insandan şimdi artık kendi gücünü eline almış bir insana dönüştüm Psyche sayesinde ve bu bir gün içinde olmadı. Zaman içinde Psyche benim içimde zamanla büyüdü. Ben Psyche'nin içinde zamanla büyüdüm. Ee, ve kendimle tekrar barıştım. Psyche sayesinde kendi gücümü elime almayı öğrendim ve bu benim için çok kıymetli. Hayatın illa bir e, zorluklar ve mücadeleler silsilesi olmak zorunda olmadığını fark edip kendi gücümü elime alıp kendi değişikliğimi yaratmak inanılmaz inanılmaz keyifli bir şey oldu benim için. Ve şimdi bir sürü insanın bunu yaptığını görmek bana yine çok büyük keyif veriyor. Her insanların güçlerini eline aldıklarını görebilmek, kendi özlerine dönebildiklerini görmek, kendi özlerine, kendileriyle her seferinde, ben de dahil, e, her seferinde kendimizle daha derin bir seviyeden tanışabiliyor olmak, daha öze yakın bir seviyeden tanışabiliyor olmak çok kıymetli. E, bu değişiklikleri hayatımda ve diğer insanların, psyche çalışmış diğer insanların hayatında görmeye başladığımda bir eğitmen olmaya karar verdim zaten. Çünkü daha çok insan bunu öğrensin, daha çok insan kendi gücünü eline alsın istedim. Ve ondan sonra da eğitmenlik yolculuğuna çıktım. Psyche benim için çok önemli çünkü en temelinde ve en özünde bir olmak hikayesi var. Hem kendi içinde hem etrafında gördüğün, görmediğin, tanıdığın, tanımadığın her şeyle bir olmak beni en çok çeken buydu. O yüzden çok kıymetli ve bu kadar temiz tutulan bir yoldan, temiz tutulması için her türlü çabanın sarf edildiği bir yoldan yürüyor olmak benim için çok onur verici bir şey. Bu yüzden de Rob'a şükran doluyum. Bunun yaratıcısı olduğu için, bunu insanlığın hizmetine sunduğu için ve bu yolu bu kadar bizler için temiz tuttuğu için her ne kadar yüz yüze tanışma fırsatım olmasa da sadece aynı trende ve yan vagonda olduğunu biliyorum. Ee, ve büyük şükranla anlıyorum kendisine. Çok teşekkürler.
Thank you, Ayça. Brunhilde from Germany.
Hello, dear ones. I'm really grateful, and all the stories about Rob, they really touched me and brought me a lot of stories I didn't know, and therefore I'm really grateful also for having the opportunity for this sharing. I'm from Germany, and I would like to continue in German now. Ja, ich habe Psyche tatsächlich schon 2005 kennengelernt und das bedeutet jetzt auch schon 20 Jahre Psyche. Und in dieser Zeit ist so viel in meinem Leben passiert, wovon ich denke, wenn ich Psyche nicht gehabt hätte, dann würde ich nicht mehr auf dem Brett stehen und surfen. Ja. Und wenn ich es allumfassend beschreiben soll, dann denke ich, dass Psyche eine Methode ist, die uns immer wieder schenkt, dass wir uns für das Licht entscheiden können. Dafür wirklich für die Entscheidung, die Liebe ist, die im Grunde für das Leuchten ist, für die Freude, für das Herz. Das ist für mich Psyche, dass ich in kritischen Situationen, wo wir in der Dualität leben, ich mich für die eine Seite entscheiden kann, durch Psyche. Und das ist so leicht. Ich will das an einem kleinen Beispiel mal erklären. Und zwar habe ich mich vor Jahren mal mit einem Ex von mir in Darmstadt getroffen auf dem Marktplatz. Und ich muss dazu sagen, dass ich in meinem Leben ganz viele Beziehungen in den Sand gesetzt habe, weil mein Vater meine Mutter oft betrogen hat und meine Mutter immer gesagt hat, ach, die Männer wollen doch nur das eine, ja. Und so war ich sehr misstrauisch Männern gegenüber und ich glaube, ich habe viele Beziehungen wirklich von diesen unterbewussten Überzeugungen her zerstört. Und ich habe mich mit meinem Ex getroffen vor ungefähr 5 Jahren auf dem Marktplatz. Und dann kam eine sehr hübsche Frau und hat ihn umarmt und geherzt und so weiter. Und früher, vor PSYCH-K, wäre ich sofort gegangen. Ich hätte voll Drama Queen gemacht, ja. Und ich wäre abgehauen und hätte gedacht, boah, mein Ego wäre so gekränkt gewesen und so. Und jetzt habe ich mir das angeguckt, also damals, und dachte, aha, will ich wirklich gehen oder ist es überhaupt angemessen? Und dann habe ich gesagt, stell uns doch bitte mal vor. Und dann hat er uns vorgestellt und alles war gut. Dieses kleine Beispiel zeigt, und ich dachte nachher, Wahnsinn, so ein starker Trigger, und ich konnte fühlen und denken gleichzeitig. Ich war vollkommen whole-brained und konnte emotional und gleichzeitig analytisch reagieren. Und das ist ein Beispiel, was PSYCH-K für mich in ganz vielen Situationen macht, dass ich nicht mehr den Triggern und meinen Emotionen ausgeliefert bin. Und natürlich auf einer größeren Ebene ist PSYCH-K einfach etwas, was die Herzen der Menschen zum Scheinen bringt und Freude bringt. Und ich empfinde es so seit Robs Tod. Ich bin unglaublich dankbar und ich empfinde es so, dass er uns von der anderen Seite wirklich total unterstützt. Ich empfinde das PSYCH-K-Feld stärker. Ich finde Robs Anwesenheit stärker. Die Balancen gehen noch einfacher und schneller, also die Veränderungsprozesse. Ich bin unglaublich dankbar. Danke auch für alle, die genau diese Arbeit mit mir teilen. Thank you all.
Thank you, Brunhild. Joanne from the US, and now I've learned from New Jersey. Okay, so.
Thank you, Duccio. As this call goes on, I feel myself getting so much more emotional. I hope I can find the words to convey the importance of what this work means to me. I began my own self-discovery journey at such a young age. At 17, my father passed away, and I began asking those big questions, such as, what is the meaning of life? What is this all about? I too, like Cassie described, was a seeker, and I immersed myself into studying. I read hundreds and hundreds of books, listened to thousands of hours of audio programs, learned all these different methods and modalities. And what I gathered was all this information and knowledge, but I lacked the way to integrate it into my life experience. Until listening to Biology by Bruce Lipton in 2015, similar to Robin, when I heard him mention PSYCH-K, and that it was his preferred method to achieve heaven on earth, every cell in my body electrified. It was like goosebumps on steroids. And it wasn't until I actually came home to be able to pull up the website, and I looked at that website, and I knew, without knowing a single person had ever experienced this work, that it was the answer to my prayers. I immediately signed up, for that workshop. And during those 3 days, I was blasting through barriers that I had been chiseling away at for decades. And I absolutely couldn't imagine doing anything I love doing more than offering this sacred gift to humanity. It truly is that. And I get to witness magic and miracles every single day, working in private session and also teaching workshops. And just to honor the time, I'll cut this short, but I have to say, I just finished teaching yesterday, and one of the participants said, what's so absolutely beautiful about this process is that it literally teaches you, your inner guru, the innate wisdom and brilliance that resides in each of us. And that's what I love so much about Rob and his essence and being the conduit, is that he always made us, remember that, yes, we all looked up to him, but he always taught us, again, the innate wisdom resides inside of us. And we each have the tools in our hands to activate that and to evolve and to grow. So I absolutely am so honored and feel so privileged to be part of this community. And I love each and every one of you. And again, PSYCH-K is a gift to humanity, and I am truly, truly honored to be a part of it.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you. Beth from the US. Illinois, correct? Yeah. Beth, you need to turn on your mic. Perfect.
From Iowa.
Iowa. Sorry. Sorry, Iowa.
Iowa, Midwest, where it's very, very cold today. I'm Beth Holstein, and I have been a certified instructor since 1998. So it's been a while. I had the best pleasure to meet Rob. I went to a conference, and I'm a psychotherapist by trade and had been in private practice for a while and was always looking for things. I needed something that worked fast. And so I am at this conference and I meet Rob. And that was love at first sight. It was, he did a presentation, a 2-hour presentation, and I thought, I want that. So a month later, I am in a basic workshop and brought it back and started doing it with my clients at the time. And I was just amazed in seeing all the changes they had gone through and again in a much faster pace than it had been before. So I had the pleasure to have my basic training with Rob, and also the advanced. So had a lot of contact with him, lots of conversations, and that's what I probably remember the most was the conversations that we had. So soon after the advanced, he invited me to do the second batch of instructors, and that was the love at first sight. So have been with PSYCH-K since. I not only teach here in the United States, but I also teach in Brazil. So back in 17 years ago, we translated into Portuguese. And that was such a pleasure. And it goes on until now. And I always have the great pleasure to being there twice a year and have trained many, many facilitators also in Portuguese. So it's interesting. This last workshop I had in November, Rob passed away in October. And I had the distinctive feeling of him being right next to me as I was teaching the workshops. I had no doubt about it. It was always like, I could almost see him and going like, yeah, way to go. So it is such a fond memory and it's so close to my heart. And I thank him for all the years that I have been able to be an instructor, and thank to all of you and our opportunities to be together. I'm looking forward to August when we all get together to celebrate his life. Now, I would like to just say something in Portuguese, if I could. Novamente, sejam bem-vindos a esse mundo do PSYCH-K. Hoje nós estamos honrando Rob Williams, que foi a pessoa mais querida para todos nós. Gostaria mais uma vez de convidar a todos vocês a participar dos cursos, que são maravilhosos, e a grande oportunidade de poder aprender em português. Então, para mim, isso é um prazer tremendo de eu poder facilitar com todos vocês. Então, mais uma vez, um beijo no coração, que a gente fala, para o Rob Williams, para estar tão pertinho da gente. Muito obrigada.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you. Martine from Belgium.
Thank you, Lucio, and all of you here to be here. Yeah, PSYCH-K came to me in 2013, and I became an instructor in 2015. So it's 10 years it will be in October. As a child, I like to become a teacher, but due to a big surgery, I I've seen that there were good nurses, but there were other ones, and I like to change the world. But since now I know that I need to change myself before we can change the world. So now I would like to continue in Dutch and perhaps a little bit in French. um, Dus in 2015 ben ik PSYCH-K-instructor geworden. En ik heb het geluk gehad om dat samen met Rob Williams zelf nog te mogen doen. En dat was voor mij echt thuiskomen. Zelfs nu nog, het lijkt alsof ik gans mijn leven PSYCH-K gegeven heb. En dat is helemaal niet waar. Maar dat gevoel heb ik er wel bij. En Rob heeft inderdaad de kracht, of ik weet niet hoe dat ik het juist moet benoemen, om ons ware zelf eruit te halen of dingen te zien die ik zelf ook helemaal niet wist. Het heeft mij zo ontroerd op het moment dat hij zei: jij geeft les zoals een fee die met haar toverstokje zwaait, alsof dat het zo eenvoudig en zo magisch is om een psycha-balans te doen. En dat heeft mij zo geraakt van, "Oh, ziet hij dat in mij?" Want ik had dat helemaal in mezelf niet gezien en zeker niet durven zeggen. Maar dat heeft mij toch wel een enthousiasme gegeven om voor te doen hoe dat ik bezig was, want ik vind het ook een heel eenvoudige sleutel om toe te passen. En het enige doel van PSYCH-K is vrede te voelen. En ik kan alleen maar zeggen, zijn uitleg in verband met het IS-syndroom of de illusion of separation, de illusie van ons afgescheiden te voelen, voor mij was echt fundamenteel. Want ik zat op cellulair niveau. Ik had eigenlijk mijn tweelingbroer in mijn lichaam gehad als een monstergezwel of een wondergezwel, kan ik nu wel zeggen. En toen ik 14 was, hebben ze mij geopereerd en dat eruit gehaald. Maar dus ik had een emotionele pijn, een fysieke pijn, maar ook een spirituele pijn van afgescheiden te zijn en iets te missen. En in mijn eerste sessie heb ik onmiddellijk gevoeld, door dat in rust te brengen, ja, ehm, hier zal ik les in geven. Ja, ik heb onmiddellijk alle workshops gevolgd. En in 2014 heb ik de gezondheidsworkshops gedaan in Marseille, in het Frans, met Duccio. En ik kwam terug van die workshop en mijn moeder vroeg mij of dat ik nieuwe anti-rimpeldruppels had voor mijn en haar gezicht en of dat ik die kon bestellen voor haar. En ik zei nee, ik heb helemaal geen nieuwe anti-rimpeldruppeltjes. Maar ik ben de gezondheidsworkshop gaan volgen en ik heb daar kunnen transformeren wat dat jij en papa nooit hebben kunnen doen. Het is te zeggen, hun eigen rouwprocessen van hun eerste partner die zij verloren hebben. En onze mama had die rouw zelfs na de dood van mijn vader ook nog niet verwerkt. En ze is dement geworden en ze heeft haar rouwproces dankzij die dementie kunnen doen. En dat was eigenlijk zo mooi om dat te zien, want ze heeft het ook nog opgeschreven. We hebben nu een briefje gevonden waarin dat ze om vergiffenis vraagt, want dat ze veel meer aan haar eerste man nog dacht dan aan mijn eigen papa en dat ze dit niet mooi vond. Dus ik ben daar zo dankbaar om dat ze dat zelf nog heeft kunnen realiseren, mee met de psychica-balansen die we ook met haar gedaan hebben en dat ze die rust nu gevonden heeft. En dus, oh ja, van Rob zelf, ik ben daar zo dankbaar voor dat we hem nog gehad hebben. In de maanden voordat hij vorig jaar overgegaan is, heb ik met hem zelf een zoon gehad van 1,5 uur. En omdat ik wou uitleggen waarom dat ik Bruce Lipton uitgenodigd had hier in Brussel en dat ik zeker niet op zijn plaats wou innemen. En hij zei, wat een geluk dat we Roos als excuus gehad hebben om samen 1 uur, 1,5 uur samen te zijn en te kunnen praten, want we hebben ons leven allebei kunnen delen. And I want to share this in English now too. I'm so grateful that I've got the opportunity to have a Zoom call with Rob because of I organized the event with Bruce Lipton in Brussels, and I wanted to tell him that I really wanted to take his place here in Brussels. And finally, we talked 1 hour and a half together, and he said, finally, what good that we have got Bruce as excuse to have this moment together. So I'm so grateful, and it was really an honor to have this moment with him last year, and Psyche and the whole family. I've no more words about it. Then even this weekend, I teach a basic workshop, and I could feel the change in the field. In less than 1 minute, the participants did their balances. Unbelievable. And really we need to have the experience of Psyche balance to believe that it's possible that we have such a magical tool to change ourselves before we can change the world. So thank you, Rob, for what you share to us and what we all together as Psyche family can continue to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Adelaida from the US and from Poland too.
Hi, everyone. I'm Adelaida, and I live here in Long Beach, California. And I teach Psyche not only in the United States, but also in my home country, Poland, since 2021. And before I found Psyche, I was searching for a method, something powerful, yet simple and easy to apply. And I already understood that my limiting beliefs were holding me back from shaping my reality the way I wanted. And I didn't know how to quite find them and identify them, let alone change them. And then I found Psyche. It was 2016, and for the first time, something inside of me shifted. And it wasn't just a realization, it was a remembering. A deep, undeniable knowing that transformation could be simple, profound, and filled with love. And in that moment, I didn't just fall in love with this beautiful modality. I fell in love with myself again. And since that time, my life has completely changed. I've released old limitations, stepped fully into who I am, and now I have a privilege of guiding others through their own transformation. Wow, every workshop, every balance, every soul I connect with is a reminder of this magic that Rob shared with us. I was privileged to get to know Rob last spring, and not only as a head of Psyche, but also just a guy who loves cooking and listening to jazz. That was so precious. Rob didn't just teach us a process. He reminded us of who we truly are, and that is the greatest gift. His legacy lives on in every moment of self-love we cultivate, in every person we help set free, in every choice we make to embrace our highest potential. Today, I celebrate not only just him with my words, but with my heart and my work. And his magic lives on through all of us. Dziękuję. Thank you.
Thank you, Adelaida. Sandra from Canada.
What I thought I was going to share has changed many times since the beginning of our conversation today. What has remained consistent is deep love for this lovely person that who has shared and gifted us individually and collectively and universally with what we know as Psyche. The story that I think I've landed on, because this rock is sitting in front of me, this stone is called a creststone conglomerate. And when I was in Crestone, Colorado, with a number of my dear brothers and sisters that are here on this call, learning how to teach and lead and hold sacred space for the Divine Integration Retreat, outside of the building were these two big boulders. And I love rocks ever since I was a little girl. I've been fascinated with them and stick them in my pockets. And my husband will sometimes say, "Why is this suitcase so heavy? Did you put more rocks in this suitcase while we were away?" And admittedly, it's true. So I asked Rob about these big boulders, and they were like nothing I'd ever seen before. They looked like they had been made of many different types of stones that had come together. And he described to me that this name, Crestone Conglomerate, represented the coming together, really, the formations of this new type of stone that was a gathering as the glaciers moved down through the mountains. They would pick up stones from here and there, and the pressure or the time that passed brought all of these unique pieces of stones together to form something new. And I was mesmerized by his storytelling, which we all know when we get a chance to listen to Rob speak. He's just such an eloquent orator, and he uses words in such a brilliantly gifted and graceful way. And so I was enwrapped in the story, but still struggling with the idea about how could I possibly fit that boulder into my suitcase. It was far too big. So he told me that he had a number of these conglomerates that were all over the back of his property. So when we went that evening for dinner, we went rock hunting together, and Rob helped me choose 3 different stones. This one in particular has been part of every advanced workshop I have taught since then. Every person that I've had the honor of being able to share the sacred methodology that we call PSYCH-K has held this stone in their hands and knows the story of this stone and how Rob helped to find it and how Rob put his own blessing into this. So I think it feels very timely and meaningful that this is the story, and that here collectively, even though we can't all hold it in our hands physically, that we can all hold it in our hearts and in our minds, and know that Rob is here sharing his blessing with us. And I just feel ever grateful, ever enchanted, ever with deep love in my heart for everyone here, and especially for our dear beloved Rob. I miss you and I love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandra. And okay, wow. I was thinking about what to share after each one of us shared the experience. For me, Rob was a friend, a brother, a master, but a very, like many of you said, a very unusual master, not a master that tells you who or what you should be, not the master telling you the truth. For me, Rob was a kind of the image that came up while listening to all of you, a kind of mirror, neutral mirror of unconditional love. Being in front of him and talking with him helped me to see myself and to see who I really was, to then decide by myself, because he never pushed me to be someone, never pushed me, okay, Duccio, you should be that, you should do that. Through his question, through his words, through his silence, he helped me, like many of you said, to discover who I really was, to be brave enough to open to love. I've always been terrified to love and to welcome love in my life. And that's why, like Mary said, I put a huge armor that kept me alive. I believed kept me alive. But thanks to Rob's gift at PSYCH-K, I was able to, piece by piece, leaving this armor and welcome love in my life. And one last thing that I would like to share is that during the workshops, I always share that I was born angry, and PSYCH-K through Rob taught me peace, my inner peace, that it's, if I can think with unconditional love, is the most precious thing in my life, within myself. And another honor while listening to all of us, another gift that Rob gave to all of us is to meet each other, to 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 connect with each other in the instructor community, but and to go even beyond that, to connect with all the amazing people that we meet during the workshop. And I would love to share that to all the ones who are watching this video, that Rob is in each one of us. And when you attend a PSYCH-K workshop worldwide, in all the beautiful different languages, all the beautiful different personalities that you have heard here, you will touch Rob through each one of us in different ways. And it's if you resonate with one or more of the things that we have shared, our invitation is to really be brave, move on, be vulnerable, be humble. Like I loved what Paola shared at the beginning. I'm sorry, this was impossible for me to say to, and, and it was another beautiful transformation about being vulnerable. And being vulnerable, then I understood how being vulnerable means to be strong, not to be weak. So thanks to all of us for sharing each our experiences. I hope that really this meeting helps people to connect more with PSYCH-K, with the essence of PSYCH-K. That is love, that is peace, that is confidence, that is also loving authority with ourselves, for an amazing life, for heaven on earth. And we are here, open, welcoming you worldwide to share with you this magic, this applied spirituality, and all this beauty, this peace, and this joy. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.